All right, well, here's a little bit of a rare one. So we're going to do the fancy serial number outlook here on eBay. And then the Monday market report will actually be on Tuesday. And then we're still going to do a pocket change market report on Wednesday. And then after that, it kind of gets a little bit fuzzy. Christmas is a week from today. So it's entirely possible that I might be taking the weekend off from doing any sort of content. A lot of folks will be out and about, shopping and visiting family and things like that. So I'll probably end up just kind of winding down a little bit. Now, I do have a show on Whatnot. I was presented the opportunity to test drive a new product called RCTVX. And I will do a separate video sometime this week, probably on Wednesday, outlining the product, what it is, what you can expect. We're going to talk about the price of the things. And then Whatnot and RCTVX had sent me one of a box of this product they were selling, and I'm going to open it up on Whatnot on Friday. And then whatever we pull out of there, every single coin will be given away at one time on the stream this coming Friday. So if you wanted to come on and join us, give you a shot at winning this RCTV box, which could be loaded with stuff. I know the box is right around $800, so it's not cheap at all. So $800, MSRP item is going to be given away on Friday, along with some other stuff as well. So we'll address that once we get there. Um, so we're gonna do kind of like a quick kind of overview of some of the more notable fancy serial number bills that have sold here just in the last 24 hours. And I could have gone a little bit deeper, but I wanted to make it a little bit shorter show here on this one, talking about this. There's a couple graded notes in the mix. The first couple are graded. I usually don't talk about graded notes, but I figure they're just so nice that they're worth a conversation for sure. And outside of that, a lot of the notes that we normally highlight here are raw. The idea is you find these in circulation. You go to the bank, you buy the bank straps, go through them, look for some neat serial numbers that have a certain pattern to them, or birthday notes, things like that. And then you just simply sell them or keep them in your collection. There's a couple different ways you could go about it here. So let's go ahead and jump right in. We have a 1963A $1 bill. This one is a binary repeater. It's a nice looking serial number. 4400 is what it shows on there. This one is graded by the old PCGS currency as a 67 grade, and it sold for $76 with 19 bids. Here's my only conflicting thing about this, and you guys have heard me say this before, and it's primarily a main reason why I tell most people that are doing this, don't grade these notes. Because the amount of money that you invest into the grading part of it, then you got to pay for shipping, you might have to pay for insurance as well. All that stuff at the end of the day won't be worth it if you don't get more money on your sale. That's the main motivator for grading your notes anyways, is to flip it and make more money, because that's kind of been like that message that we tell folks. You grade a coin, it's worth a whole lot more than what it would be if it was raw, all right, or that piece of paper, whatever the case may be. So this is, by all accounts, a very attractive, very eye-appealing serial number to look at. And that's kind of the big reason why that folks, invest in things like this. But the person that had submitted this a long time ago, because it's not PCGS currency anymore, it's PCGS banknote. The old regime that was spearheaded by a gentleman by the name of Jason Bradford. They weren't really a part of PCGS, the brand, or Collector's Universe. So it's been kind of one of those things where Bradford and PCGS were butting heads about trying to indoctrinate PCGS currency as a PCGS brand. And then it got to a point where there was some legal thing that happened. And, I know this is probably more over the top than what you guys need to know, but I was explaining the PCGS currency holder that you still see quite a few of out there, because they've been in business for years. Jason Bradford, since then, now runs a whole brand new company, grading company for a currency. And they haven't quite, made it up to the top three yet for currency grading. So maybe one day, don't know. I think they're called Legacy currency grading. But there you go. I mean, the initial 25-30 bucks that was used to grade this, probably not even necessary because of how nice the serial number is. This is something, folks, that it would sell for pretty close to that $76 regardless. So it's kind of like wasted money at this point, wasted resources to grade a note of this ilk. And again, if you absolutely can avoid doing so, then just don't do it at all. Case in point, here's a $20 bill. It's from what I could gather, a 2013 series. Pretty well circulated, but check out the serial number there. It's a binary repeater, much like the same type. Lots of sevens. It's probably one of the most widely collected numbers in fancy collecting, bar none, because sevens are lucky to a lot of people. So 1777, all right, sold for $45.89 with 4 bids. All right, so here's a look. And again, I have kind of like this pet peeve of, the photos not being oriented correctly. Little word of advice: if you're going to list these, it's always good to have the note kind of like right side up, so it doesn't make people mad they have to tilt their head around just so they could see what they're trying to buy. The eBay photo editing tool, by the way, you could rotate these pretty easily. It takes a mere few seconds to do so. But again, looking at the note, I would never grade this. As nice as the serial number is, again, this is very similar to the previous note we looked at. And this one is more circulated. The other one is crisp uncirculated, has never been passed around at all. I mean, you can make the argument that that note would still sell for $75 to $100. So again, keep that in mind. Our next one here is a 1988 $1 bill with a radar serial number. So the first 4 numbers read exactly the same, only mirrored once it hits that halfway point in the serial number. There's 8 digits in the serial number, so the first 4 is mirrored to the second 4 numbers in that string. This one right here is also another graded note. This one by PMG. This one grades a 66 EPQ. And again, I'm telling you guys, you don't have to grade them. This person had wasted their money because the note ended up selling for $21.50 by grading this thing. We could all take a look at the note and plainly see that it is in phenomenal shape. It's brand spanking new. Why do you need to grade this? And radars and binaries and repeaters, things like that, they are among some of the fancy serial numbers that I wouldn't even consider sending unless they were possibly like a super radar. We actually have one of those examples in here. A double quad, some of kind of like the top tier level of fancy serial numbers that people pay more money for. Those certainly you can make the argument in the case that they're more worth grading. All right, so but outside of that, $21.50. I did add graded notes here, but this is more of a learning lesson for everyone, because it's good. It's always good to see what graded notes look like on the secondary market compared to raw notes. And then you can make that case. It's not just me telling you don't grade it, but there's a lot of kind of evidence and support to help back my claim. All right. Like this one here, I would never grade this, but it's pretty neat. Binary 2s and 7s. on this dollar bill, 2017 series. $14.49 with 8 bids. Again, I mean, that's solid money right there, especially for this time of year where things begin to kind of quiet down as we head into Christmas and New Year's. Because once we get within a couple days of Christmas, like this Friday, I would say, Christmas is on a Monday. Um, from this coming Friday all the way up till the following week after New Year's is going to be a virtual dead zone for collectibles. Great for folks that are buyers. If you want to buy, unless it's like precious metal, rounds, bars, things like that, and anything numismatic, you're probably going to get a pretty good deal. I've seen discounts as low as 40, 50%, during this 10 to 12 day stretch of the holidays. So, I mean, you could play it in your favor if you need to pick up some inventory before the end of the year on eBay, and use up any extra money that you have before you do taxes next year. It's probably a pretty good time to do so with some of the quality pieces out there. Because you better believe that a lot of these are going to end up selling back to whatever the regular market value is going to be anyways. Like this note here, traditionally trades at 25, $30. So, next one here, albeit kind of neat, 2017 A $1 bill is a radar, but they also say it's a gas pump digit error. $20.50, 11 bids. That final digit of the serial number is a gas pumper because it's actually turned a little bit. It's higher than the rest of the serial number. But it is a radar as well. Ones, twos, and threes. So, again, pretty nice, very neat looking, fancy. Eye appealing because it's the first three numbers, one, twos, and threes. Next one that we have here, also from Ronald, 2017 A $1 bill. Another affordable sale here, $14.08 with 5 bids. This one is 6 in a row threes is what we're looking at here on this one. So you have 6 threes altogether and a 0 and 2. You can also add in a keyword like trinary because you only have 3 different digits. You could do that also. Not super important. Some people get turned off by the word trinary because it's a very low end type of fancy. And then when you start adding that in there, it diminishes the importance of the 6 in a row type number that is in this one. So sometimes you can leave it out and it would be probably even more effective that way. Pretty cool one here. This is another one from Ronald, 2013 $10 bill. Binary serial number. We call these clumpers because the two numbers of a binary, they're clumped together. They're not all kind of commingled, within the serial number. $46.88. A very solid sale here. 15 bids. You can see the serial number there. 5 in a row sixes and three zeros. Very well circulated note. I would probably put this one at about VF25 type grade. Next one here is another binary on this dollar bill featuring 2s and 9s. Buy it now hit $22.99. So Razors, Coins, and More did a little price protection here on this one. Did not want to sell it for too cheap. Very well worn note. I would say it's a fine 12 or fine 15. Nothing too crazy to scream home about. Collectors might even be, kind of turned off a little bit about the condition of the note, which it still does play a pivotal role in kind of like the performance and sales of these notes on eBay. We also have, this is one of my favorites actually of the day. This is a binary 3s and 4s on a 1969 C $5 bill. I just love the older notes with fancies on them. This one's especially cool, and it's a really nice uncirculated example. $49.95. When we look at it closer, you can just see just great paper quality, no problems whatsoever, decent margins on here. This is probably like a 64 grade. It's sharp, but it doesn't need to be in a graded holder. That's the good news here with this one. We have our first birthday note. This one was picked up as a quick buy it now snag at $19.99. And it features a date of January 23, 1959. All right, and it's oriented correctly to the most popular layout, which is kind of like the Western layout of calendar dates. Two digits for the month, two digits for the day, and then four digits for the year, and it's in that order. So January 23, 1959. Well done here on this one. Great sale. These typically sell in that $20 to $30 range, and really no more than that, unless it's like a July 4th, 1776 date or something crazy like that, or Christmas date, would sell for a ton of money. There's a few dates that sell just above and beyond the comprehension of what normally these go for. But my personal advice, if you have these and you're selling it and they're correctly oriented, price protect them by asking $19.99 shipped or $24.99, $29.99. The last one I bought for a birth date for one of my girls was actually something that I paid $29.99 for. So I paid the full market for the note, and I saw the value and the worth to it. And that's why people like me buy them for that kind of money. So if you had them, there's going to be other people just like me that pay the full market for them because they have more of a kind of like a fixture or it means more to them. It's a sentimental thing to them. And then they'll pay, whatever the cost is for it. I guess this is considered a low digit serial number. It is a star as well. 2017 series $1 bill. Four digits, I really don't have a whole lot of luck selling these for anything, measurable. This one did sell for $12 as a buy it now hit. I like three digits. They're way better. I prefer not to keep four digit serial numbers. Unless it was a star note and it's a low print run. And the only way that you'll know that is if you go onto like a website called My Currency Collection and just check the print run size for that note. All right, let's say it'd be worth your trouble. Anything less than 320,000 print run size is a keeper in my book. Because they're incrementally more rare at that stage. Another radar. 2017 $1 bill. Again, 1999. We had more buy it now hits and less of the auction type here this week. Again, probably because of Christmas and all that. People are putting up protective kind of prices on these, so that way they're not going to be taken to the woodshed. They don't want to sell things like this for $5 or $10 because they are worth so much more than that. And it's a crispy, uncirculated example. So I could see why that one was protected a little bit. Here's also another radar. A lot of radars, a lot of lower end stuff here in the last day or two. This one sold for $12, 02422420. It's got 420 in the serial number. There are people, it's kind of a meme these days. People do love that number, and it reads backwards and forwards and all that. And it's like, $12 is a very safe buy for something like this. And it's also a trinary for what that's worth. We also have this one here. This is a trinary, but it's grouped up with quite a bit of eights, a couple ones, and a zero. $19.95. Just from an eye appeal standpoint, and it's a $2 bill. It's an interesting number to say the least. And the 1995 is a very harmless amount of money to sell something like this for. So keep that in mind. They do have some value. All right, guys. Well, here's a star note here. 5-digit serial number. I wouldn't exactly call it a low serial number. It did sell for $45 US. This one is more notable because it's from a print run size of only 160,000 notes. Okay, so this is a prime example. It's a 2017A San Francisco block star. low print run, 160K. And yeah, this is a great example of something that you need to hold on to because it does carry a lot of weight on the market. Not only from a fancy serial number standpoint, some people would say it's a low digit, but it's really about the star note rarity here, $45. All right, which is a really good return. Let's see, pretty cool. This is one of our headliners for the week, or for the day rather. We have a double quad serial number. So four digits are the same, and then there's a second set of four digits that are the same but different. All right, so four twos, four sixes. It could be four eights and four zeros. It could be four zeros and four threes. Things like that. That's the double quad. This is one of the more desirable fancy serial number pattern types. $109. They did not even mess with best offer. They just picked it up for $109. Condition wise, the note is pretty well circulated, but I'll probably put it also at like a very fine 20 at the most. A little bit more soiling down the middle where there would be a fold. All right, we have a pair of best offer auctions here. So here's another birthday note showing September 19th, 2019. A great birthday note. This kid is right now 4 years old. So this is a very relevant one because it's very recent. The more recent dates that end in anything from like the year 1995 onward, they're very strong sellers. So I pulled up 130 point. We're going to check and see how much this one sold for because the best offer was accepted. 130 point, you could check out all of the sales data of buy it now listings where a best offer was involved. So when I go to hit submit, this one sold for $9, which is this is a rip for sure. But I'm sure the seller didn't mind. I mean, if they gave it up for $9, then it is what it is. You guys don't need to drop your pants down to this level because a lot of these again sell between $20 and $30 routinely, and that's been the market. And that's any time of the year. It could be the day after Christmas; it would still sell for $20 to $30. So keep that in mind. Don't give these away needlessly. And the last little interesting one here is a binary radar matching pair. There's a $1 bill and a $5 bill, different blocks and dates and stuff, with the same serial number. The only thing different are the prefix and suffix letters in the front and back of the serial number. But it's, 0006, 6000. Let's go ahead and see what the best offer is on this one. Originally, the seller was throwing out a number of $250. And when we go to put this one in, we're going to see that this one ended up selling to the tune of something. Something. Is he even in here? Oh, man, where is it? All right. Well, I don't see it in here. That's funny. Yeah, matching pair binary radar. Huh. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, well, we're going to assume that it sold for north of $100. It looks like the type of serial number pair that could sell for between $150 and $200. I've seen it before. That's strange that it didn't pull up there. But we certainly cannot argue the fact that that is a very dynamic looking pair. There's your dollar bill there. 2017A. A little bit of circulation wear. Again, probably talking about VF35 grade wise. And there's your $5 bill, a 2013 ML block, MLL block, $5 bill, same serial number. So again, very intriguing pairing here. Nice serial number, very desirable with the binary radar, with especially all the zeros make it especially attractive. But there you go, last sale. It sold for some undetermined amount of money. Maybe you guys probably could figure out what that is if you had other resources to use to find out what a best offer option is. All right, well, that's going to go ahead and do it. I mean, if you guys are looking for something different other than roll hunting coins, do strap searching as well and look for some of these bangers. They are awesome. I love hunting through fancy serial numbers. I've even bought a few myself here in the last month or two from viewers, which is quite nice. You guys have delivered on a few notes that I really wanted, and again, this is a very fun hobby the way it sits. And we're all playing with house money here. When we go to the bank and we ask for some bills, whether it's a few $100s ones or whatever your flavor is, at any given time, you could take this money back to the bank. It's going to be no harm, no foul. It's not as if you're spending the money and you're not going to get it in some return, like on regular consumer goods. So that's it, guys. That's all I got to say on this one. Again, I hope to see you guys on not only the live coin Q&A holiday giveaway stream tonight on that channel, which is going to start at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. That's going to be a fun event, and I'll be there very shortly, as a matter of fact. But we're also going to have the Friday show on Whatnot as well. More unsearched weed scent rolls to sell. We're going to do probably only 20 lots or so. You guys will be getting those after Christmas, after I do my shipping. But yeah, there you go. That was fun to talk about. Thank you guys for tuning on in on this one, and best of luck in all your hunts. So I'll see you guys later. Take care.